It's a little late now, but January's book for book club is Quicksilver by Callie Hart.
Yes.
If anybody is interested in joining a book club, or if you've already read Quicksilver and you want to throw in your comments, concerns, questions, not like we're going to answer them.
Concerns is funny.
So we started it on Fable and Goodreads as well.
And if you happen to just miss Quicksilver, we're doing this for every month. So we will be posting what our book of the month is going to be at the beginning of the month. And we will not post the episode until the last Thursday of every month.
Yeah.
So you will hear both of our commentary on what we think about the book on both Fable and Goodreads. So if you, like you said, if you want to add anything to it, I just feel like it would be nice to have an open conversation, have more to talk about in the episodes. Because like you have said before, we yap a lot. So if we have like things to yap about, gold.
Like if other people have like funny things to say about certain lines in the book, I think it would be funny for us to talk about and whether or not we agree.
Yes, I love that. So please check out our Fable and our Goodreads. You can access them if you go through our link tree. It's linktr.ee/thebookfix. Thank you.
Thank you.
You ready to go back to college?
I've been waiting. I can't wait, honestly. Do you think
Thank you.
going back to Maple Hills will fix your life?
I think it can.
Okay, good. Welcome to another episode of the Book Fix Podcast, a podcast where we fix lives one book at a time, sometimes a sports romance, sometimes. I'm your host, Yajaira.
And I'm your host, Cheli, and we are back with these hockey boys. Right off the bat, this is a sports romance. Do we talk about the sport much?
No, thank God.
No, we don't. And I'm a little sad about it.
I'm not. I would hate it if it was like going through the games. Like, I don't want to.
I want to watch.
I don't want to watch them. I don't want to read them. Actually, I would prefer watching it over reading it.
I get you. But just putting that out there, totally not talking about the sport. So today we're going to be talking about Daydream, which is the third in the Maples Hills by Hannah Grace. And I'm so fucking excited to talk about this story.
Yeah, especially because Henry, since the first one, Icebreaker, he's been very like beloved. Yeah. So this one was very highly anticipated.
It was me. I was the one sending the thousands of messages to Hannah Grace. Like,
yeah, you were.
This shit come out.
And I was just behind you, just cheering you on.
Yes, bitch.
Yes, queen. Press send, queen.
It's funny because like to be honest, I didn't follow when this book was going to come out. No, I was just at Target one day and saw it. And I was like, oh, shit.
No, I feel like we talked about it.
I think we did, but I didn't follow it.
I don't remember if it was on the first one when we talked about Icebreaker or if it was on the second one when we talked about Wildfire. But I remember we were looking at Daydream and we were like, oh, it's Henry's story.
Yeah. It had been in our bulk read for a bit, but there was just so many other stories that were popping that we needed to talk about. I'm glad we finally got to this.
Yeah, me too. I was so happy.
So I do want to bring up really quick, right off the bat, Hannah Grace puts a letter at the beginning of the story. And she does mention like she has received a diagnosis for AUDHD, which is autism and ADHD. And she wants to write like as a note that there are people who are considered neurodivergent coded who don't receive diagnosis. And some people are totally okay with that. Like some people don't need a medical diagnosis. Some people do need to put a label to it. But she just wanted to bring up like Henry's actions kind of mirror her own.
Oh, okay.
So
I had read this, but I didn't remember exactly what she said.
She says that she puts herself in all of the characters that she creates, like Anastasia's anxiety, Nate's self-sacrifice, Aurora's needs to be wanted, and Haley's loneliness. And then the internal scars that Russ has as well. And for Henry, it was the parts of him that shut down or need to be alone sometimes. So the part of me that exhausts herself, mirroring those around her and soaking up their characteristics like a sponge. The part of me that tries so hard and still gets things so wrong. So all of her characters are a little bit of her. I was kind of nervous when I read that author's note because I was under the impression that she was saying like, no, he doesn't have this. but it's more so like he just hasn't been diagnosed and he still lives like this. Although he is high functioning, that doesn't that doesn't mean the things that he feels are any less valid.
Yeah.
You know? So going into this, I was so ready. I was so ready for this love story. Henry.
Well, it starts off with Halle.
Oh, you're
Halle.
right.
Oh my God. It starts off with Halle being broken up with.
Dude.
And she was so like whatever about it. She was just like, all right, I'm single, I guess. I don't give a fuck.
Can I say something? This start to me felt a little long-winded.
You think so?
Yeah.
I was into it. I was like, yeah, my girl doesn't give a fuck.
Dude, just like fucking Halle, I was also like, break up with me already. Like, I gotta be somewhere.
She was literally like, have you seen that meme where it's like when you're being broken up with, but your sister's wearing your dress? And it's like, it's just like, you're just like trying to listen to it, like, but you're also like giving your sister the death stare, like, get that fucking thing off.
That's exactly what it was. So Halle realizes that when this guy is breaking up with her, his name is Will, which first of all, no, just kidding. Every Will out there is like unsubscribe. No, so he's
just kidding, Wills.
He's like a hockey guy too.
Yes, but he's playing for a different team. That was so interesting to me because she kept saying like, I don't give a fuck about his games either way.
But it sucks because when they break up, he's over here like he doesn't care. He's letting her go, and she realizes, oh my gosh, everything I've ever done in my life has always been for him. I've done the travel, the commute to go to every single one of his games, every single party that he makes me go to. I don't have a job because I'm so like always over there. I don't have any friends because he tells me I don't need to make them. And all of my friends were his friends that are no longer my friends.
Yeah. I felt so bad for her because she didn't have like her own, not like personality, but her own like community.
Yep.
It was all surrounding him. And also what sucked was Will was like a family friend. Like,
Yep.
So her mom and his mom are best friends. And so they've always been kind of like expected to be together. And I think that's why they got together, because it was just kind of like expected of them. But now when they go on family trips, they're going to be there together.
And they both kind of agreed with each other when they were breaking up. We're not going to tell our families right now. And we're just going to pretend we're still together.
Yeah, which I thought was dumb.
And he was like, I'll go back for the holidays. You can't go back.
Which I didn't understand why. Was it because she would be more heartbroken over it?
I have no idea.
I don't get it either.
But he was dumb. He was like not fair to her at all. So they agree with this, and Halle is now back at Maple Hills, and she is working at a bookstore. And she's like, fuck, this sucks, but I have a job. I have to move forward. I'm going to try my best to make friends. Like, I'm going to do all this shit even if I don't want to.
Which she does become friendly with Aurora first.
Because Aurora works at this bookstore. I do want to bring up the thing that's kind of motivating her throughout the story is that there's this writing competition that's going on. And she is a writer. And she's like, this is the first thing I'm ever going to do for me. So I want to write this story, even if it sucks. I want to do something for myself for the first time in my life.
Yeah. But she's definitely someone who prioritizes like her friends' needs. Or even Henry's needs later on when it's like, oh, well, you need me? Okay, then I'm not going to write then because you need me. I'm
really glad that she caught her drinking issue immediately.
Yeah, me too.
Because I was really worried.
Because I was like noticing it. I was like, girl, you're drinking too much.
Yeah, because she felt like no one would hang out with her if she didn't drink when they went out. So she was constantly getting like blackout drunk with her friends because she wanted to be their friends.
Yeah.
And it sucked. It was so sad. We're going to kind of talk about the story kind of quickly. I do recommend everyone read it.
Yeah, me too.
But just to get this out of the way, I fucking loved her character.
Me too.
And her whole character arc of finding herself again.
And she's, I don't remember how it was brought up, but she's plus size, right?
Yes.
I don't remember how it was brought up though, but I wanted to ask you, did you like how it was brought up?
I'm trying to remember.
If this is the first time you're listening to us, Cheli went on like a whole tangent, I think on our episode of Phantasma, when you were like, there's not enough plus size queens.
Yes.
So now I'm always curious. Like, okay, was this?
I think I was okay with it because there was one section where they bring it up, and it was when she was gonna go hang out. Aurora was gonna have a party, and she wanted to go, but she didn't have any clothes for a party because I think her sister told her, like, you dress like someone who, like, is a teacher. Like, you dress like a teacher. And she was like, I don't have any cute outfits. So then her friend is like, hey, my roommate has a bunch of cute outfits. She can lend you some. And in her head, Haley's like, it's not going to fit. Like, I already know it's not going to fit. And she looks at the roommate's Instagram and is just kind of like, oh, she's plus size too. Like, and there's just like a little thing. But I really like that the group of girls, the solid friendships, fucking the next sisterhood of the traveling pants type bitches. I was so happy that all of them are just so understanding, because talking about like being plus size shouldn't be a taboo thing. It should just be kind of like, oh, it doesn't fit. Oh shit. Okay, let's find something else.
Yeah.
Because that's really what it felt like. Even when Haley had to admit she was a virgin, and everyone just kept talking, and she's like, hello.
No, but she made it seem like it was gonna be like a bomb, like a bomb dropping. She was like, I'm a virgin. And everyone was like,
okay, yeah.
Anyway, so it was just like, whatever.
But it's funny because she brings up like, hello, I'm a virgin. It's like, yeah, and that's a social construct. Okay, so
nobody cares.
Yeah. but
not in a mean way. It's like she expected them to think less of her because she was a virgin, but they were just like, that's okay.
And even when she had to admit like that she didn't want to drink at these parties, and they were like, bitch, we're still gonna invite you. Like, you're part of this now. I just loved the fucking solidarity, dude. This feels like the year for women. Like, I just feel like there's just so much women supporting
girlhood.
Women. Oh, dude,
I love it. You need to watch Sex and the City. Please
do. I? Okay.
Girl, I love women. Okay,
dude.
Friendships.
Oh,
that's everything to me.
Wait, can I say this? When is Pride Month? June. Well, every year.
Well, every month.
Every single day of my life is Pride Month.
Yes, but June is this.
Can we make a promise right now? I know when we promise it, it's hard to make. Can we try at least?
What?
When Pride Month comes along, I want us to just read sapphic romances.
Okay, but just sapphic?
Just sapphic.
What about?
For the rest of the year.
What?
I just feel like we've read sapphic, but there hasn't been one that has like
gripped us.
Yes.
Okay. I think we should do majority sapphic, but I feel like we need to include
a few
the rest of the rainbow.
Okay. Can our first one at least be sapphic?
Of course. I'm ready already.
You, Queen.
We don't have to wait until June.
Okay.
We could do it.
The next episode will be...
It won't be because this is bulk filmed.
Oh, you're right. We'll figure out how to make it sapphic. Okay.
Wait, what?
We'll figure it out. We're gonna ship two characters together.
Well, in the last one we did.
I know. Oh my god, go watch our last episode. It slapped. I don't know if you want to put it there or not.
I thought you were high-fiving them. I was like, okay.
Someone watching is like, oh my god.
She just bonked me. Fuck. Okay, back to Daydream. So, I want to say that I agree with you. I feel like the friendships really meant a lot to me, and I loved that Hannah Grace took the time to build that.
Time to talk about the best boy that's ever existed in the world. Oh my god, you're wearing your ring. Oh, Queen, look at that.
It kind of hurts me sometimes. I need a wedding band.
It's just so beautiful.
I need a wedding band for real.
A good symbol of love, but another good symbol of love is my boy Henry.
Okay.
Dude, so Henry is one of the Maple Hills hockey boys.
Maple Hills hotties.
Thank you. And he knows it, dude. He was a mujeriego, but like
womanizer.
A respectful one. And he's over here.
And you know what I loved about him too? I loved that he would judge the men who would just go through all of these women without any no empathy at all.
Yeah.
Like he would literally be like, okay, but you're not going to talk to her though? Like, well, that's weird.
He has two moms.
Yeah.
So he was raised right twice as hard as everyone else. So he's over here super stressed out in this book because he's captain of the hockey team. And at the very beginning, the coach pulls him and is like, how are you failing this class that just started? And
it's hard for him to focus. That's why.
And Anastasia had talked to him, which was the girl in book 1, and he repeated what she had said to him, which was, this teacher's teaching style does not match my learning style. That's the reason. And the coach is like, it's not that he meant to be strict or stern, but it's because he cares about these hockey boys a lot. So he was very much like, I don't care about that because you had the time to get out of that class and switch it. You had the time to ask for an extension. You had all this time and you did not do that.
Yeah.
So you need to figure it out how you're going to raise that grade or you're not going to be captain and you're not going to play.
But the thing is that Henry didn't even want to be captain.
No.
Like, he didn't want to be captain, and he's overwhelmed with, like, you know, this position and also this class. Because he's in a class, this class that he's failing. The teacher is notorious for being really hard on the students. So he's kind of like, well, I was already set up to fail.
Can I say something? I found so much comfort in everything that Henry said.
Really?
I was like, that's fucking me.
Yeah?
I also like being in positions of leadership, but then hate it. And then I get overwhelmed and I'm like, why the fuck am I here? Like, I get that so fucking much. So to hear him,
I can see that actually.
To hear him go through that shit, like, you don't get it. It's my brain. Like, when it gets too hard, I know that I'm not helping myself by pushing it off, but I can't stop myself from doing it. And I'm like, fuck, that's me. Fuck, I look in the mirror and I see the cover of this book. I just can't.
You see Henry staring back at you.
Yes. So I'm just like, fuck, I get it. So he goes to the bookstore because Aurora's like, why don't you get some books on leadership? Maybe that'll help you, reading a little bit about it. And when he gets to the bookstore, he sees Halle and he's like, hold on a minute. Who's that? And
Who's that cutie pie?
it's funny because he's only in there to buy the book and she's under the impression that he's there for the book club
for the book club.
hosting.
Yeah.
And it's a very like small interaction at first. So then when Halle goes to her first party and he's there, she wants to talk to him because she has a dare where she has to ask a guy for his number. And he's in the middle of talking to someone who is Stassi, but she's under the impression like, oh, that's his girlfriend.
Yeah.
So she asks for another guy's number. And
immediately everyone's like, oh, no, don't talk to that guy.
Yeah.
He's known to be a womanizer.
Yep. And so then I think it's not until later where Henry and Halle start talking more, where
I think he even brings up, like, don't talk to that guy.
he brings up, like, I saw you get his number. Like, I wouldn't talk to him. And it's like, well, how'd you see me? You were talking to your girlfriend. It's like, first of all, that's Stassi.
He's like, ew.
That's my bestie right there. We paint each other's nails. Look. No, but he's like, I just, yeah.
We're just friends.
But their whole romance is so good because they're both growing from each other's, like, with being with each other, they're maturing in their own ways. So for her, although she makes a lot of time for him, he starts to realize, because his coach brings it up, I am asking too much of her.
Yeah, because the coach is like, well, okay, she's helping you study in a way that's helpful to you, but, like, what are you doing for her?
Yes.
And he's like, oh, shit, I never thought about it like that.
And it's funny because he repeats what the coach says to her and to Russ, where it's like, am I taking advantage of your kindness? And he's like, bro, I love giving you rides.
Yeah.
I love giving you rides. Never fucking say that to me again.
He said that to Russ. Yeah.
And then when he goes to Haley's house, he says the same thing. He's like, am I taking advantage of your kindness? What do you want? You know, what do you want? You want $1? I've got $1 right here.
I love that we keep changing her name from Halle, Halle.
Dude, I'm so sorry. It's because I read this and I didn't say it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Haley. That's what we're gonna agree on.
I thought it was Halle because it's Halle.
Hale.
Halle. It's
Hale.
Halle.
Halle.
I listened to it. I'm pretty sure they said Halle.
Dang. Okay. So Halle. We're
gonna forget that.
So Halle. she basically tells him, like, no, you're not taking advantage of me. You know, this is the most interaction I've ever had with another person.
Yeah, so she's grateful for the friendship.
Yes.
Like, she really does like him.
But then she brings up the fact that, like, I'm trying to write a book and I can't even write it because I'm writing a romance and I've never experienced a romance. Because I did have an ex. His name was Will. But I don't even...
Lives over here. He's
I know.
family friend.
Longitude, latitude.
Tells
here he
him
is.
everything.
Yeah. But it's like, but I've never really experienced love or dating or any of that. And so they strike up a deal, like, they will go on dates in order for her to like experience things.
To be able to write about it.
So it's not really a fake dating. It's more just like I don't know.
Experience. I don't know.
Friends with slight benefits. But like it's really cute. Like it's just them hanging out, and you can tell they both like each other. And I think they even mention it to each other that they like each other. But she's scared to go the extra step because the only person she's ever been in a relationship with didn't like her back, basically.
Yeah.
This, I'm going to bring this up now because our next few reads, there's like a similar thing connecting them. The jealousy in this. I think this is how jealousy should be done, because it was very much like it didn't turn toxic. If you want to see toxic, you should go listen to fucking Twisted Hate by Ana Huang, the one we talked about. That shit was toxic. Okay. I don't want a man to tell me like, remember, I love you. You did tell me about your ex and I did almost kill him. I'm sorry. Oh.
But the jealousy was toxic. I get what you mean by toxic, but I'm thinking like, oh, there's jealousy, but the jealousy is like too much.
To me, that's toxic. Like if someone were willing to do that, it just feels like, whoa. But
if you like it, I mean, still go listen to the episode.
Wait, you almost offed my ex?
Oh, wait, why did you spoil it?
Sorry, go watch that. It'll make more sense. Okay, so in this one, I liked it because even though Henry was jealous, when him and Will finally do meet because they compete in a game.
God, yes.
Halle had told him, I don't like when guys fight. Like fighting is for fools and you're no fool, Henry. And so he goes in and he's like, I'm not fighting you. I hope you know that.
But at first he was like ready. Because what did Will do? He did something, didn't he? That it was like, whoa, how fucking dare you do that?
Will basically said like, oh, you like my
sloppy seconds?
You like my sloppy seconds, right? Yeah, I loosened her up for you, just so you know.
Oh my God.
And she is going back for the break, so I'll just make sure she's ready for you when she goes back.
Oh yeah, he's weird.
Yeah, so then he gets really mad.
Also, just quickly bring it up. Yeah. Will also kind of wanted her back for some reason. I think he just wanted her back just to kind of so that it hurts.
Yeah,
I
also felt like Will wanted her back for the convenience of having her back.
Just because she would do a lot of things for him.
Yes. And I also think that she became more attractive when she gained more confidence. I think that's what it was.
Yeah.
Because even he noticed that she was changing. So the fact that
he's like, you have your own friends? That's so hot.
Oh, that's so fucking hot. No, but like, I really like that Henry stood his ground and he's like, I'm not fighting. I'm not going to fight this bitch. Whatever. So their romance was very much like that. It just felt.
I was like, fight that bitch. Fight that bitch.
Well, how did you feel with the fact that like he also took the blame when there was a fight? Because someone ended up punching him, right?
Yeah. Because they were supposed to play a game, like a hockey game, but it didn't end up happening because the fight broke out.
Yeah.
And then Halle got mad because she was like, I didn't even want you to fight him, you know? So like, I didn't want any of that to happen. I'm just glad you're okay. So it's kind of like a weird situation.
I really appreciated that he kind of stood up for his team like that.
Yeah, me too.
But it just kind of sucks that he had to deal with the repercussions of it.
But it was kind of fine because he didn't want to be captain anyway. So I mean,
it came out at the end that he didn't want to be captain, and they were like, "Bitch, you should have told us.
Why don't you just, I don't know, tell us?"
I thought it was funny that the coach calls everyone by their last name, but he called Henry, and he was like, "Whoa, this is weird.
I have a last
you
name.
Think it was a slip up. I think I'm his son now." No, but I just thought that was really sweet. I know we're talking about this kind of out of order, but just read the book. But it's very much. They both have their own growing. And that was him being able to like voice how he's feeling and voice when things aren't going well. Yeah. And he really got that from Halle. So Halle's whole thing is her giving too much. And I like that Henry realizes this and is like, hey, you are helping me on my homework too much. I got to do that shit on my own. You are giving too much to people. You have to know when to say no, and that it's okay to say no, and people will still love you even after you say no. And I really like her character arc because it's slow. And I think the first time she realizes that it's too much and it's okay to pull back is when Henry has his first shutdown moment, and she shows up and accidentally calls for too many people to show up.
Yeah.
And she walks away. And she even tells him, like, just go to your room. It's fine. We don't need to do anything I had planned. And she goes home and gives him space. But to her, it's like, oh my God, this is fucking crazy. But I know this is the right thing to do. So,
yeah.
know. I fucking love that shit.
I thought it was interesting because for me, if I were in her position, like if someone were to shut down on me, I'd be like, oh my God, they fucking hate me. They hate me. But like, obviously, like he needed space.
Yep. Oh, dude. Her biggest thing was when she told off her mom. Do you want to talk about that?
So wasn't it because they were going to do like a family trip? And her mom called her, right? Because she wasn't gonna go to it. And no, they showed up. They showed up. Yeah, her mom showed up and Will's parents showed up, which I thought was so friggin' awkward because they just showed up randomly. And I was like, what if she just had a man over?
Yeah. Oh my God. How did you feel when she went to the restroom? Because she was just like, I can't believe this fucking shit's happening. And she texts Henry like, dude, everyone's fucking here.
Yeah. And
he's like, do you need me to come over? And it's funny because he doesn't want to stress out about having to play Will the next day. And she brings up like, I just went into my bathroom and all the condoms are gone. Like, did we use them all? Like, what happened? And he's just like, I mean, if they're out, I could bring more and maybe come over.
He's like, are we out? Damn. Let me go restock real quick.
Congrats us. But it's funny because he's like trying to flirt with her and she's like, no, I was just asking, whatever. And wasn't Will the one who took all the condoms?
Yeah, Will shows up and he's just like, oh, so you're doing it without me?
They never had sex, right?
No, they never did, which is interesting. It's interesting to me because Will doesn't seem like the type to be like, yeah, I'll wait for you.
No, but he would still ask for like,
oh, you're right,
sexual favors.
He did. I forgot about that.
Oh, that's weird. That I hate that so much.
Me too.
But yeah, he does say that, and then he says like, I know it's Henry. I know it's him because I see your phone screen. I see that. I forget what else had given it away, but there was a lot.
And then I think I don't remember exactly how the conversation played out, but I think her mom told her something and she went off on her and was like, we're not even together anymore.
Yes, it happened at the game because she was wearing Henry's jersey.
And they made her feel bad for it. Like they were like, why are you rooting for someone who's not Will?
And then that's when she brings it up. And then she says like, Mom, you don't even get it. Like I never felt happy with him. He never made me feel happy, and now I feel happy and you're like putting me down for that shit. And the mom like noticed that she was having like a moment and was like, I'm sorry, I love you so much, I've never meant to make you feel like that. I'm gonna give you space. Like I think the mom says that, I'm gonna give you space and I will talk to you again and I'll talk to you more, and not make it about all of this other stuff, like making you plan the trips or do any of that.
Oh yeah, because she had a lot of pressure of like planning everything for the family, and like everyone would fall apart without her. So they would always like reach out to her when like, let's say like the sister was fighting with the mom or whatever, you know, like when people were fighting, they would always contact her. And it was like, damn, I am the one who always has to like help everybody, but who's helping me?
Exactly.
So I'm trying to remember exactly when did Henry and her, when did that relationship like?
That's what I was going to bring up. I want to pause there because this is basically like the climax of the story, and then it all comes down after that. So the development of the relationship was very satisfying. Like it just felt so natural. I think the first time they don't even kiss. I think it's just them. They start taking naps together. That's how it starts.
Love that.
And she's like so confused. It's like, it's weird how this has become natural. Because there was a point where they were fighting over something and she just kind of falls on top of him and he like repositions himself so that she's more comfortable. And then they just stay like that. And she's like, whoa, it's kind of weird. And it isn't until, I don't remember the first time they kiss, but I do know that that's when they kind of say, I think he kind of says like, I wouldn't just kiss you. I hope you know that this is definitely not part of our deal. I kissed you because I wanted to kiss you.
Yeah.
And that was so fucking sweet. And then their development just was like they were showing themselves more to each other. So her being okay with saying like, I'm very stressed out about this, and him showing his art because he's an artist. So,
oh yeah,
you know, he would draw her a lot and use her as a canvas. So draw on her a lot. But there was this one scene where they go to like an art show together, and it has his art, and it's a picture of his mom or his two moms. And she's just like, oh my God, let me take a picture of it. Can you stand next to it? And he's like, no. Okay, I'm gonna stand next to it. And she like, you know, does that.
Yeah.
But it's just very much like a very intimate thing. And I think they don't have sex until Christmas, because she like plans everything out, because they're already kind of messing around with each other. Well, he more so, like he's not forcing her to do anything she's uncomfortable with. But during Christmas, he gets her like, or she gets him noise canceling headphones.
Yeah. And
there's like an empty box of lingerie, and it's kind of funny because can you imagine if he was just like, why is it empty? where the fuck is it? And she's like, do you get it? Because I'm wearing it, you know.
It's under this.
Yeah. And that's the first time they have sex, and it's so like it was because she was ready and she was the one who brought it up.
Love that
the
shit.
Fucking shit that really got me, dude. I fucking love Henry. Henry gets me because you fucking know me. I fucking hate when people touch me. Yeah, you know that.
Unfortunately.
But I'm also a teacher. So there are kids running up to me like, hi. And I'm like,
like you know, trying to hug you. Yeah.
Yeah. But I can't say no. So but I realize I don't fucking hate that. I feel what Henry feels. I don't like when people touch me softly. And he says that. Do you remember that line? No. Where he's like, if you're going to touch me, it needs to be a hold. Like you can't just, you know.
Why didn't you tell me that?
Well, now we know.
Sometimes I like to just graze a little bit.
I want you to grip me.
Okay.
I feel it, dude, and that doesn't bother me. And I was just like, oh my God, Henry gets me.
That is so interesting.
I fucking love
that shit
line.
just like went over my head. I was like, okay, weird.
Dude, I don't.
As someone who loves physical touch, weird.
As someone who has someone in my family who's medical and has told me my whole life, you should probably go get a diagnosis for like
why
ADHD.
Oh,
because
yeah. Well, we're like the same in that aspect. So.
Yes, but like I've always had that. Like I've never liked being touched, but then I would appreciate hugs. And I'm just like, it's a weird way to balance it because I tell people I don't like touch, but then I'm just like, I want a hug, you know? And it's because of that.
I want a hug, but like grip me though.
Yeah, I need you to wind me. I don't want any air in my body. I get it now. And when he said that, it like blew my mind.
Why did he say that though? I don't remember.
It was because I think they were going to have sex for the first time. And he's like preparing her just to let you know, please don't just caress me, you need to hold me. And then she was like, okay, got it.
She's like squeezing him. You said hold.
I fucking love that shit. So much good communication in this book. Hannah Grace, you did it again. I fucking
wowed me again.
And can I say, I did like the first book and I did like the second, but they felt cringy at points.
Okay.
Because remember the second one with the ratatouille scene?
You hated the ratatouille scene.
And the first one, the scene that really got me was when they were having kinky sex and their sister walked in. They were like in the living room and Stassi was like filled with whipped cream. And the sister's like, oh. Okay.
Slowly exits out. That shit, you know, it happens to some people. God, hope never me, but it happens to people.
But fucking Halle and Henry, it's gonna be fucking her choking him out. And he's like fucking purple. Why girl, close the door? I don't know. It just felt
less cringe
because it was more natural. It had a lot to do with talking to each other, and that's what I appreciated from this book more than the other two books.
I get it.
Yeah, it felt like a more mature set of college students. Sometimes I would forget they were in college.
Yeah, me too. They're pretty good at communicating, a little too good.
I don't know. Watch it, Hannah. I didn't have that much sense when I was 20.
And you know what? Even at 25, a little iffy.
Oh my gosh. But overall, they have a really good relationship and very like sex positive relationship. So when it gets to that point when he does not fight Will and he still gets in trouble for a fight that does happen and he loses his captainship and he doesn't want to be there anymore. He finds Halle and he's like, we got to go. And she can tell he's going to shut down because they know each other. And he tells her like, I really want us to work, but you need to give me some space. Yeah. Like, and I'm asking for it. And I know that's asking a lot of you, but please understand that. And she's like, no, I got it. And it's like 2 months, I think, of space.
I felt like it was way too long.
Did you? Okay, I was going to ask you about that. How do you feel?
Well,
how would you feel in that situation?
I don't.
Like a really, really good relationship. Like, and they're like, I don't want to see you for 2 months.
Well, if it's a really good relationship, then I understand. Then I would get it. But then at the same time, it's like, it's okay for you to ask for space. But I feel like you need to give the person like a time limit. Like, you know, because it's not fair for the other person to be like just waiting.
Because I think Halle even brought up like she will give him space, but she did feel weird knowing that he was going out with others and she's still here.
Yeah, see, that's the weird part too. Like and it's weird to say because obviously we both really like Henry's character. So it's like, okay, why can you go out with other people but not Halle?
I think that would be my, if I were Halle. I don't know. I don't think it would be the same.
No, I think it would hurt my ego too much.
Yes.
I would be offended and I'd be like, okay, so obviously hanging out with me causes you too much stress or something, whatever it is.
And I understand shutting down. But I wish that they would have at least texted. Because when they would text, it felt like it was very fleeting. Yeah. Because it wouldn't even show their text. It would just be like, I'm gonna do it right. I'm gonna fix it for us. It's like, that's all you're gonna text me? Yeah. Like, I wish you would just check up on me.
It's not really like an open conversation. It's kind of just like a statement and that's it. I just feel like 2 months is too long.
Yeah. I don't
even a month is too long. I don't know. Like, how much time do you need? I think a week, maybe.
And that's why when he came over for the first time after not seeing her for a while, it was very much like, oh, you're here now. It was like weird, right?
Yeah, it was weird. I don't even really remember what the conversation was, though.
When they showed up? It was him showing up to the house and was like, I know you're going to go on a trip, but I wanted to say that I love you and you don't need to say it back. And just... I know you're going to go with your family and then you're going to go on a girls trip, but just like, I will be here and I'll be waiting. And she's like, okay. And then he goes home and it's just kind of like, it felt weird. Like it felt weird. I know it felt weird. And then she comes in and it's like, weren't you going to go on your family trip? And she was like, no, I didn't want to go. And I chose that I didn't want to go. And
well, it was the either or. She was going to go to the family trip, but she wanted to go to the girls trip. Yeah. Because I remember her saying like, oh, I wish I could go, but I already have this other trip planned. So because she wasn't going to go to the family trip, she was like, I'm just going to go on the girls trip.
But she does say I love you to him at this point. And he's so happy. And she's just like, and I love this because this is so big for her character. Like she's a people pleaser, wants to be here for him. He wasn't there for 2 months. And I love her being like, but I'm thinking about me. So I got to get to the airport for my trip. Yeah. And he's like, okay, then I will wait for you here. And then...
For 3 months. Bitch.
I know. 2 months and 1 day. Oh, I don't know. I love Henry so much. And I understand the shutting down part. I get it 1000%. I wouldn't... But everyone's different. I also get that. Yeah. I wouldn't be patient with someone who cut me off like that.
I wouldn't be patient with someone who would just shut down often.
Yep.
I don't know. I feel like I've dealt with people who give like cold shoulders, and even that to me is like, okay, this is too much. Like, it's weird. You can't talk to me, like, that's weird.
Yep. I feel like both you and I too, we've kind of grown up a lot.
Yeah.
And when we are having bad days, you and I will do this thing where we send each other a message, and it'll be an audio message, and I'll be like, I know you're busy. You don't have to answer this right now, but, and then it's like 10 minutes long.
Yeah.
And then sometimes we won't get to it immediately, but that helps. You know?
Yeah. It's such a big help just to like vent.
Yep.
Or like, yeah, I know you don't even have to listen to this. I just need to get it out.
I know you don't know these people in my life, but let me tell you about these people. It's very much like that. And I appreciate that because sometimes, even though physically I need space, I can still do that because even if it's too much, I'm able to put my phone down. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
So like that feels like what I wish Henry would have done.
Me too. I wish he would have how do I say it? I wish he would have eased her into it. You know what I mean? Or at least like made her feel like he was still thinking about her while he was shutting her out.
Yes. When she went on her girls' trip, by the way, she did have a few gifts with her that he had given her. That book that she had been writing, it was supposed to be kind of like two friends that fell in love with each other, and then it's a back and forth between them falling in love to you seeing her walk down the aisle and he's up there seeing her walk down. But she reveals to Henry, but they're not ending up together. She's ending up with his best friend. And Henry's like, I don't like that.
Yeah.
I would prefer if, they ended up together. And throughout the story, she's over here like, yeah, I don't want to make it tragic. Like, I want to root for them.
Yeah.
And so at the end, they do end up together. And when she's at the airport for the girls' day, she's looking through the girls' trip. She's looking through the present that Henry got her, and it is like an audio file, and it's the author synopsis. Like, this is the author. This is Halle. She wrote this book. She goes to this school, and she also has a very lovely boyfriend whose name is this, and that was them like officially becoming a couple by that point. Oh, I love that so much. I think everything in this book was so good and so perfect. I just didn't like that whole not communicating.
The shutting down.
After communicating so well for so long.
I know. And then I also was really confused because I understand that he went through a lot with the whole like the fight before the game, and then the game got canceled, and then he's not the captain anymore. To me, it kind of felt like if I were in Holly's position, I'd be like, wait, so are you blaming me for everything that went wrong? Because, technically it was her ex that he was fighting with. So that was another thing that really bothered me. Like it felt like, okay, it feels like you're blaming her for everything that went wrong in this moment.
Yep.
And then I don't even know like what he gained out of these 2 months without her.
He learned to think for himself, I think, because that's when he spoke to the coach, and the coach was like, you don't have to be captain. That was when he spoke to Nate from the first book, and he was like, it was hard for me too, and it's okay to admit when you need help.
Yeah. He
finally fixed what was happening with him and Stassi, because they're best friends, but they weren't speaking to each other.
Yeah.
Because they were both going through shit, and, they were able to like rekindle that friendship. But like, yeah, I don't know. I have a friend whose name I won't say.
It's me. Just kidding.
No, but who I feel like shuts down as well. And I don't think they're gonna watch this, but we have this like thing where like when we both need space, the other person will still text the other like, "Hey, hope you had a good morning." Like, I feel like that should have happened at least.
Yeah.
Just
a little bit of communication.
That's all I expect. So 5 out of 5. I'm just like the thing I don't like. 5 out of 5. I think no matter what issue I had with that, Henry's just so good.
Yeah.
Henry wants to make me go speak to my primary care.
I do love Henry, but I just wish that part was different.
Yeah.
Because it gave me the ick.
Oh, I get it, but it's still so good though.
I do really appreciate how Hannah Grace, really builds our characters and gives them lives outside of the relationship and even like the friendship. Because I really love that part when Holly was like, well, you guys aren't mad at me and you're still gonna be my friend. It's like, yeah, we're friends. Like, we're friends for life. Like, why would you think we're not gonna be your friend anymore?
It's kind of funny because Halle and Stassi, they had never met throughout the entire book, but knew of each other. And this feels like if this were a sitcom, that point when Halle was, Henry was taking a break because he had shut down, and Halle was at her house and she hears a knock and it's Stassi. It feels like that point in a sitcom where everyone would clap because the main character from the first book comes.
I was cheering. I was like, finally, damn.
Oh, it was so funny though, because when Stassi goes back to see Henry, she's like, yeah, she's beautiful. She's the one. I get it. I see it for you.
She approves.
Oh, I love it so much. I'm ready to put this book in a bottle, let it go into the ocean.
Yeah.
And I hope someone else finds it. I really hope someone else reads this book because it's so fucking good. Do you have anything else you want to say?
I didn't rate the book.
Well, of course, it's a 5 out of 5. Yeah. Sorry. 4.9 out of 5.
I think I would give it a 4.
Okay. Did it bother you that much?
It did. Like, I was so confused during that part. Because I was like, everything was going well. And now he's just gone. Also, I kind of hate when people shut down. Or, like, give, like, cold shoulders. Yes. It's kind of an ick. So.
I say this thing to my kids a lot. Where it's like, it's okay to have a feeling. But you have to realize that your behavior can be telling, too. So it's like, I'll never make you stop feeling a certain emotion, but you need to be aware of how you're going to behave because of that emotion.
Yes.
Yeah.
I second that.
Yeah. So that's how I feel about that shit. Still a 5. Still a 5 for me. I appreciate your 4 though. I appreciate it.
I appreciate your 5.
Do you think even though we both didn't give it 5s, we'll still be citizens of Maple Hills?
You did give it a 5.
I know, but if we rate and average that's a 4.5. And Hannah's going to feel that. Well, for anyone who is listening to us in audiobook, whether that be Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, or anywhere you get your podcast on, thank you so much. If you can please leave a rating of 5 stars and a review recommending us our next read, that would be amazing. I just want so much romance right now. That's all I want to consume.
Or fantasy
that has romance, of course. Obviously, I would love that. Also, if you can throw in a little bit of jealousy, I fucking love that shit. I love it. I eat that shit up. I would love that. If you want to support us and you have a little bit of extra money, what can they do?
So we do have a Patreon, and it really just serves as a way for our listeners to let us know that you really enjoy our content. You can find us on patreon.com/bookfix. But if you don't want the commitment of monthly, then you can find us on Ko-fi, which is ko-fi.com/thebookfix, or buymeacoffee.com/thebookfix.
If you are watching us on YouTube, thank you so much. If you can like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell, because we post every Tuesday and Thursday. We have talked about the other Maple Hill stories. So if you want to go watch Icebreaker and Daydream, those are so good. Please go watch that. If you want to just watch a different rom-com, we've also talked about, if you also want to watch a different rom-com, we also have talked about all of the stories from Dream Harbor? Dream Harbor. Oh my God, thank you. I couldn't think of the word. We've also done a bunch of episodes on the Dream Harbor books. If you want to watch that, those are so good. If you want to support us on social media, we do have a TikTok at The Book Fix and a Goodreads, Fable, Instagram, and Threads at The Book Fix Pod. We also have a Blue Sky at The Book Fix Pod, right? Love that shit. Oh my gosh, love this for us. Okay, we're going to go ahead and read a positive and negative review of these books. This comes from Emmy, who gave it a 5 out of 5, who wrote, "What happens when a neurodivergent ADHD eldest daughter who can't say no reads this book? She feels seen."
Okay, this comes from Honestly Sophie. They gave it 1 out of 5, and they wrote, "Her gift to him for Christmas was her virginity."
Damn. Thank you so much for listening, and we will talk to you next time. Bye. Off topic. Remember Kira, the book talker?
Yeah, what about her?
Because we're talking about hockey, I always think about her when we do.
Okay.
But have you seen that she's currently reading all the Harry Potter books?
I have seen a couple clips here and there.
It's so funny having read Harry Potter and knowing the plot twist. And she's just like, wow, this is a really happy book. Like, I'm really glad. And knowing when she hits a chapter, because I just see her face come up and she's sobbing and I'm like... So I just want to say I really hope she's doing okay.
I think she is.
Yeah. She's almost done with book 6, so it's gonna fucking wreck her.
Oh shit.
I still hate JK Rowling though. Just want to say that out there. Thank you. I think you should. I think it's a rite of passage for everyone.
What if I'm like her, just like sobbing the whole time? Oh.
You will be, and that's okay. That's okay, because I'll be there.
Can I hug you while I'm sobbing? Or?
Only if it's like a take the wind out of me hug. Yes, thank you.
Okay.